Hello, thank you for watching a short introduction to setting up Rocket Screens. Rocket Screens is a digital signage program. Our ability to create and connect to over 120 live SaaS programs and applications and present them on TVs, intranets, browsers, and literally any screen that you own. So starting off with on the far right, you have the account and the workspace. On the opportunity is that you can go in and edit that. The highlighted USA account, that is the account name, and the account name is where billing and users are established. The credit card is associated with the account. And in an account, you can create various workspaces. So workspaces are a really nice way to create a physical barrier between offices. So you want to add employees to different spots, workplaces, cities. You can do that here, and they can work within their own workspace. To create a new organization, you would do that here. That would again allow you to have a separate group, putting a separate credit card, billing address, and whatnot. You can edit your profile, what kind of settings that you want, notifications. Do you want, if a player gets disconnected, to be notified? You can text that to yourself, email, or even push it out. You can update this information here, and you can even change your avatar. All support, questions, knowledge base can be accessed here or in the help below in blue. The help functions allow you to review our knowledge base. You can also submit a ticket. And during certain hours, we do have a live chat. So now going to the main application, we have a homepage. The homepage will show you a geographic location of all the players that are active. Colors mean something. And so when you highlight a player, you can click on it, ultimately see the different players that are active by the green indication. Yellow and red mean something else. You can go to these individual players by clicking right into them. As you'll notice here, this is now representation of a player. The model is a web TV, which is a browser. I actually have representation of one in a separate tab on my PC. If you go and have a smart TV, then ultimately you can find the browser. You'll enter the URL live.app.rocketscreens.com/pair today in that TV browser. That will bring up ultimately a code and a QR code. The mobile app will allow you to take a screenshot, but you can also just grab the code. In this case, because I'm on my PC, I can copy it here. If I need to generate a new code below, I can do so. I'll come back to this and we will sync this player in a minute. But ultimately, you'll see what's playing. You can actually fast forward, rewind, and stop the player. You can assign a schedule. In doing so, what a schedule lets you do is play different channels at different times or different days of the week. So going back to the home, this is just a dashboard ultimately that represents activities. You can have different players that are running, what they're playing on, and just some simple high-level information. Now starting to build our Rocket Screens channels, we have the ability to create and load up information. And so from here, we can create folders, which is really nice to do to just organize content. And we can upload files. So if you have personal files, Word documents, images, videos, PowerPoint slides, and the like, you can upload them here. And you'll see below, these are showing now what we've uploaded in this demo. Here's a PDF. Here's a screenshot. I can move these files into folders. We also have integrations with Canva. When you go to Canva and ask Canva to drop information in, it will create a Canva folder, and then it will load those images right in Canva, from Canva into our system. Today, Canva does not bring across videos. And so ultimately, if you do have a Canva video, you can just load that down to your PC or device and upload it in our system. And that's a good way to get movies in that aren't available today. But as you can see, we also could connect to Google Drives, OneDrives, images from Google Photos, Dropbox, etc. Moving right along, we have the ability to create connections to about 120 applications today. And so depending on what you're looking to do, you can write and search it right here. You'll notice that in this case, I've got 2 Salesforce connections. We have actually 4 different Power BI reporting connections. If you're confused on which of these connections matter, then ultimately most of the cards will have links to our help guide, so you can choose the right card or application to connect to. And you'll also notice down here that some of the different applications have a purple integration button. Why is that? So some of these applications require an OAuth connection or a more sophisticated secure connection. So today we have about 36 of those. And so if you're going to create a Twitter connection, for instance, then the first thing we will need for you to do is connect to your Twitter account. You'll notice Power BI and a few others, Salesforce, those are required here. And so ultimately, if you go into any connection or application and you do see the integration icon in essence, then that reminds you that you'll need to create that integration. If you haven't done so first with the integration menu, you can do it right here. It'll create it, then it'll bring you back to the application itself, where you'll want to name it. Some of these connections to apps have refresh intervals, and so you can choose what matters here. Typically most of these applications can run at 10 minutes or beyond. It does tax the system. It does cause us to go back out and connect over and over again, which could be problematic. So, be a little bit considerate of the speed. If you don't need it every minute, we would recommend that you don't choose every minute, just because it does create another iteration every time we do that, which on a minute by minute basis in a course of a day, that's a tremendous amount of traffic. So you'll see that there are various options that you can choose in all these applications. They're different, but ultimately this is just a way for us to change the way they're displayed and whatnot. As you can see in this demo environment, we have folders. So if you have an Power BI instance, and let's say you have 10 or 20 different reports that you want to play, then you would probably create a folder. You would name them differently. You'll notice that when the applications are built, you can click on any of them and you can, with the eyeball, and ultimately see what they look like. You can click on them and edit them. In this case, I'm pulling up an integration under this name. This, once connected, will let me pull up the BI workspace and select a specific report. If the report has more than one page, then you can ultimately time how long each page plays. In this case, I'm going to scroll the report. We're going to show a QR code link, and we're also going to show the last timestamp that was, when the report was taken. So now that I've built out various applications, I've got them all down here. What we want to do is we want to create channels. With RocketScreens, you can create unlimited channels. And a channel ultimately is just an organization of applications. And so you can see in this case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different channels built, all for different reasons. Um, and each channel can be, reorganized if needed. You can lock the channel, which what that does, it does not allow you to access or make any changes. You can access, but you cannot make any changes to the channel unless you unlock it. There is no higher level security than that, but it's just a reminder that maybe someone unlocked it for a purpose. You can also favorite the channel. You can preview the channel. You'll notice that you've got ultimately the time the channel runs, and then it loops back over. And then ultimately you can view it here, duplicate it. If I have a channel that is locked and I want to mess with that channel, maybe it would be better I'll duplicate it and make one for myself. So I can view it, or I can also come over to the image and double click it. It opens it up. Again, you'll notice that I've got 3 application slides here. You can see the time. I can view each of these individual slides, or I can preview the entire channel here. If I like this, then I can ultimately favorite. Oh, it's locked. It won't let me do that. So it's telling me I can't do it. But if I didn't have it locked, then I can favor the image, and then ultimately it would show up here under favorites. Let me refresh this. Oh, I guess it's already in favorites. So let me go here, Frisco weather. And so you can reorganize any of the slides here. You can click into the slide itself. You can edit the app. Right now, you can change the duration. So ultimately, you can adjust it, the channel to your liking. We highly recommend you make a unique name and description. As you build out more and more channels and more applications, it does get difficult to know what and what each slide is for. So lastly, what we want to do is we want to create players. And players is where RocketScreens ultimately charges its customers. You can build, for the most part, unlimited applications, unlimited channels, have unlimited people in the system, but we do charge by actual players. And so over here right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players showing. If I come up to a certain player, you'll notice that this has got a green blinking light. This means it's playing. I can always click this and pause it. Then on that TV or that device, it will stop playing. I can lock it here, which would limit anybody here or anybody on the device, if it's a physical player, from accessing and making any changes. Over here, we can send the device player a command, rebooting it, stopping it, clearing cache, reloading. I can edit the player from here, or I can come over here and click on it and edit from here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to register or create a new player, and this will be the last step of this demo today. So I will come over and click on Create Player or Create Player Group. And why would I create a player group? If I have a specific building or even possibly a department, I might want to group those players together so it's just easier to manage. As you can see down here, I've got 2 devices on home office. I can move these, grab them, and drop them into another group. So there's just many ways of managing and organizing the players. So going back to the top, I want to create a player. Today we have four types of players. We have a physical player. A physical player requires software on the device. So that could be a piece of hardware like a Fire Stick or an Android player. It also could be that in the App Store on the smart TV, you can download the RocketScreens application. And when you do that, ultimately it registers very similar to a physical device. In the event that you want to play a channel on a laptop or a Macintosh, you can download the software here and play it very similar to a physical player. It registers as a physical player. It plays on a device as a physical player, and ultimately it will be charged like a physical player. Web TV player. So if you have a smart TV or any browser, you click on here or actually enter this on the browser. So it's live.app.rocketscreens.com/pair. You will notice that this page with a different code will reside. So if I want to register a player on a smart TV in their browser, after I've gone to that page on the device, on the TV, I click on here, I give it a name, and I enter the registration code. On a laptop, it's easy just to copy it and drop it. I can group it or not, and then I can pick a channel. Once I've done that, I'll create. When I hit the create button, it will link. The other thing you can do, if you have a mobile device, you can take a picture, and it's really nice to do that because then it gives you a better sense of where that TV is in your facility. We create it, and we go up to the device. Within a few seconds, the device reloads. You'll also notice that the URL has changed. We highly recommend that on every TV, you will want to bookmark this new link. In doing so, if the TV gets turned off, you change the device page or whatnot, you come back to this bookmark page and the device is still actively synced. Thank you.